guys, let's get this watch list up. Trades, clear. Okay, so just a quick run back of what I was looking at for last week, what I traded. Netflix was one of my my top watch stocks for options plays, and I also bought shares of this when we hit what was it, $88. I did not think we would be able to get to these lows down here so quickly, but thanks to Trump and tariff news, and I think earnings were fine, but guidance wasn't the best. So basically, that's what helped us to gap all the way down to here. If I had known we would have like touched these lows so fast, I would have waited. But it is what it is. So I am currently in a leap contract all the way out to January 2027, I believe it is. And those are down, wait, 17%. Before it was around like 25 when we were here, and max loss for me is supposed to be 20. However, Netflix, I just have a strong belief that we will be able to rebound from here and at least touch these highs back here. So still holding. I probably won't get another leap. I'll hold the one that I have, and I'll just day trade some other options as we move up. We shall see what happens. We have this gap to contend with, and also this resistance trend line right here. Will be dollar cost averaging into shares here though. So that's what's going on with that. Also, what else was I looking at? I think Amazon was another one. The charting was slightly different. I was watching this inside doji candle right here. But again, tariff news, Trump, we gapped down, and it invalidated pretty much, I want to say, all of my trade setups because of, what's going on there. So no entry on Amazon. There is some flow for a leap contract that my friend told me about. He trades with order flow, and sometimes my technicals and his order flow will basically sync up, and that is always an interesting thing to watch play out. So no entry on Amazon. I can't deal with the news situation, and news always supersedes technical analysis. It doesn't matter what your technicals are telling you. If bad news comes out, especially from Trump these days, your technicals are going to basically fall apart unless it's in favor of the direction that you're trying to go. And in this situation, it was down, and I'm betting up. What else? SMCI, I was already in. I liquidated my options for a 50 something percent gain because, again, I didn't know where we were going to end up because of the tariff threats in Greenland and war and yada yada yada. So I just took my profits, and I decided to run. I took a second entry, small position, when we started retesting this area back here. I think, wait, where's my phone? I am down slightly on these. Let me see. 1 second. I am down 11% on my current options that I'm holding with this, but this is house money from the previous breakout back here. This is a good area to actually get in heavier because this is where the institution stepped in to push prices up that far. Let's see what else. Dell was another trade I was watching, and I was expecting us to fall out of this rising channel, which we did, but it was a massive gap. And then this is the day that ended up like this is the way the day ended. These little crude drawings over here is what I expected to happen, but not with the kind of gap that we had. So I thought we were gonna break out, come back up, and probably retest this channel and then drop lower, but instead we broke out and we came back up. So that's what this candle is doing. That's what this signifies right here. We're retesting this resistance level with this candle. So now we have an inside candle that was printed here. So this could fall lower. No trade on this one either. PayPal was a no trade. That was because of the tariff talks. We dropped from here, gap down. All my technicals were ruined. CL, Oracle, oh, RCL. There we go. I was watching this as well, and this just lost support, came down. So no trades on those. Currently, for this week coming, one of my favorite setups is AVGO. So I can, hopefully y'all can see this, but get rid of this and get rid of this, that. This candle here is one of my favorite things to day trade. It's a doji at support, right? And we also have this massive gap back here that we're trying to fill, and we're halfway through it already. On the weekly chart, we're inside of this fair value gap, which is a form of basically liquidity. It can be used as support and resistance for price. So we're basically inside of this this gap. There's a monthly one right here. So I'm expecting some kind of bounce when market opens. I would like to take an entry on this above 320.10 to day trade it. I don't know how long I'll be willing to hold this, because news can ruin my position, and I rather just take my profits and walk away. So above where is it? It's around like 322.10, I would look to take this long. If not, I will take the breakdown below this candle right here at like 314.15. This is my favorite setup currently. Yeah, that's my favorite setup currently. We shall see what happens. Wait, where is the 200 for the weekly? No, nowhere near it. So AVGO is one. T-Mobile, sorry guys, this is kind of messy. Let's get rid of at least the moving averages. T-Mobile is screaming bullish divergence again. We're within this daily fair value gap, and we are printing like higher bullish candles, but I do want to see our volume rise a bit more before I enter this. Let's just get rid of all of these. Let's see. If I was watching on this day, I could have entered at the break of this doji above. But a second entry, I would be willing to enter this if we can close above 186.55. So I'd go long for this. It also cleared this trend line down. So yeah, I'm watching this for a long entry. They can't keep pushing the stock down. Like, it's kind of ridiculous to think that they'd be able to like continue what they're doing here. This is a massive downtrend. Like, this break back up is going to be wild. It's not if, it's just when. So definitely on watch. Back to my daily. Yup. Okay. And then T-Mobile, similar setup. Bullish divergence. We're within a wedge. We did hit this gap I would like it to fill at least 50% of this before turning up, but you're not always going to get your setups the way you want them. I am going to try to trade this back to the upside. We need to clear this resistance level up here though. This is our last low. So either a breakout of this yellow trend line, I would be willing to go long, or if we can break and hold above 23.75, because that would indicate a flip in it's a market structure shift. So if you notice, um, we have a high, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, higher low. So we just need a higher high right here. And I will either take the breakout or wait for the retest to go long. Uh, mm, mm, mm. Okay, that's AT&T. Tesla. I caught Tesla Friday. What was this? Oh, this was a news-based catalyst. So I guess Elon or Tesla reported that robo-taxi is now driving around in Austin without um, supervision, and it gave the stock a nice little pump, right? And we basically broke out of this trend line. So I caught zero DTEs on this, and then I think I bought contracts that were dated out a little bit more. I didn't catch the entire move. That would have been great on the zeros, but it's all good. So regular contracts for the breakout and then zeros on Friday. We 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 can take an entry if we can get a pullback to the 50% of this fair value gap. And I also like to use the Fibonacci to see if there is a an entry that's like at the 50% retracement. So if not the fair value gap, right here at the actual breakout itself of this trend line would be ideal. And that's around, let's see, let's look in the hourly for a second. So this zone right here would be ideal. This zone right here, this would be optimal for me because it's the 50% retracement of the fib. It's also the breakout of the trend line. It's the consolidation at the resistance level back here. So 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 tap, and then finally we broke out. So I will be taking a pullback to add to my my other position. So actually, let me put Tesla up here. AVGOs first. Meta. I missed the breakout because it occurred in pre-market. I was hoping we would get a pullback to at least this support back here. Didn't happen. I also was watching it intraday, but my friend told me that the flow wasn't that great, so I stopped looking, and then I saw entry signal, didn't get to take it. It's all good. On the daily chart, however, it is basically about two. So you have this trend line here, right? So that's 1 touch, 2 touch, and now we're coming back up to it again. If we can break and hold above, I'm willing to take an entry. You have hard resistance right here, and it kind of coincides with this. Safer entry would be around 677.5, but my risk tolerance and like entry preference might be slightly different than yours. So I would be willing to take the early entry at the breakout here. And then, oh yeah, Meta was undervalued too. Like when we were down here, the stock was basically considered undervalued. So I bought a small amount. We have rise in volume, which is another good indication that, price and volume is telling us where we're gonna end up. Monday morning, I'm watching this like a hawk. So that's Meta. And then, oh, CrowdStrike is showing bullish divergence. Again, if you don't know what that is, the MACD is pointing upwards or slanting upwards, and then the RSI is slanting up. Price, on the other hand, is slanting down. So we're making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, right? So lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. The indicator, on the other hand, is showing higher high, higher lows, higher high, higher lows. So higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Something is lying. Price is lying, or the indicators that signal momentum and overbought, oversold is lying. Which one? I'm gonna stick on the side of the indicators. They are lagging, but they do give a good signal as to what's to come. So on watch for a breakout entry or a break and retest. Break and retest is always the safest. Let's see this. So high, low, right? Low, high, low, and now we're here. So we could break out, test, go, or break out from here. Again, we have to wait for price action to do what it wants to do. And that's all that's on the options side for now. No futures levels for today. I don't have time for it, so that's what we're doing. Oh wait, last one. Uber. I tried to catch Uber on the break of this level right here, but it didn't hold. I ended up selling it for minus 20%, and I rolled into some Tesla calls. So there was someone else that followed me on this trade, but the money, it just wasn't moving the way I would wanted to. So I got out and ended up trading Tesla with it. All right, that's pretty much it.